shit in the store. Back at it. We here. We happy. How that drink, baby?
It's good, man. It's very good, man.
That froze. We doing well with this froze. We got with this special guest. We got Queen's finest, 40. Happy to have you here, brother.
Appreciate it.
You happy to have him here now?
I'm ecstatic. That's my
I know
guy
he went
right
to
there.
BC and shit, and we don't really fuck with BC with the Big East battles and all that.
He's a New York native.
Yo,
man.
you know what's funny about this funny ass dude? He never spoke to me in high school and in college. He started speaking to me when we started to get money. This is a true story. I'm not even lying. Son, I never spoke to you when we bust your ass at BC, especially your last year. All I can remember was the only thing you said to me was about LeVar Postel. You said, why did bum ass country dude talking shit? So, we had mad New York dudes on the team, right? And we blowing them out. So, LeVar, he don't say nothing. He was probably talking crazy to 40. So somebody was shooting a free throw. 40 never spoke to me. Never spoke. Queens, Brooklyn shit. You know how it is. He ain't never speak to me. But I'm going to say, my man became my friend when we turned. That's some wild shit. You, Jamel Thomas, say, yo, Rube, these guys never, maybe it was me. Maybe it was just me. Son, you never fucking spoke to me in high school. Huh?
It was the competitiveness.
It was the competitiveness. Plus, you wasn't from my neighborhood.
Exactly.
Fuck out of here.
What up, 40? My man.
Nell Scott.
So 40,
Ty Grizzly.
40's my guy, yo. I always I enjoy watching him play. I didn't get to see him.
Not
play.
really a guy. You dragging it.
No, he's my guy.
Because you older than us. You older than us. You older than us.
Well,
You know him. Just say you know
He played
him.
with me in Hoops in the Sun.
All right, say no more.
Everybody that played with me in Hoops in the Sun.
That's a fact.
From 2002 to 2003 was my guy.
We definitely had the
It was a
best
dream
team
team.
ever.
It was a dream
That's
team
a
of-
fact. We was ringing.
But I didn't know about 40 earlier, and I didn't really know him in high school, of course. I think I might have heard of him, but I was in college going to pros. But the one thing I want to ask you about is just hold up. It's a coach named Ron DeClario who's been
Mad
coaching,
annoying.
40 years. I knew him since I was 16, 15. He used to be at they used to have a sports bar. He used to hang with Dave Liss.
Entourage.
Entourage, baby.
You know
And then
Entourage.
what was the other one after the
There was
Entourage?
another one,
They
too.
changed the name.
I don't remember.
So he was around early. He used to play ball on 55th with sometimes. He wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
But I knew him being loud and playing ball and hanging around, and then find out he's the coach of Cardozo. So, what was that like with that crazy motherfucker, yo?
Before I talk about Coach, I want to thank y'all for having me. This is a good look.
Oh man,
I appreciate y'all allowing me
lucky.
to come through.
You lucky.
This is big time. Anytime I can rap and chop it up with my brothers, this is a good look.
You're part of the clique, man.
I appreciate y'all
You
for
know
that.
that.
You definitely part of the New York Foundation of Basketball. They don't mention you a lot, but that's
No.
because of you.
Nah, man, I don't know why they don't mention me
Because they
enough.
don't like you.
Well, hey,
I remember.
that means they admire me.
That's a fact.
Yo,
That's a fact.
So
You know
I
what I'm
remember. I don't know if I caught you at Boston College. I just remember we was somewhere or seeing.
He was a star. He was a star.
See, this
I ain't gonna hold you.
motherfucker-
You was a
this
star.
motherfucker's Bad, yo. This motherfucker's nice. Just seeing you for the first time. I don't know where it was at. You was just cooking. I can't remember what tournament.
No,
it was.
you 4 or 5 years older than me. I think so. You like a whole class older. So I ain't expect you to know, but not to toot my own horn. That was all shit.
No, yeah, but
First team all
But when I
city.
saw- but when I saw you-
dudes got to respect that at the end of the day.
No,
That's a
At the
fact.
end of
That's
the
a
day.
fact.
You know what
That's
I
a-
mean? So,
but
I didn't really
but-
like you because you was from Queens and shit, but you was good, son. You was good. You was all city, all that other crazy shit. It's funny because you one of the few people I actually knew. You and Rafa, before I even started playing high school basketball, I knew the name. And I don't know if you ever remember this. I'm gonna share something with you right now. Do you remember when y'all scrimmaged Grady?
of course.
So I came to the scrimmage, and that was my first experience seeing a high school basketball game. And Rafa came mad late.
Always.
Right. So I remember that because y'all was scrimmaging Grady, and they was like, yo, this kid named 40 and this kid named Skip. And I was like, why the fuck is they named 40 and Skip? What the fuck is that?
That's right, in the backcourt.
That's what I'm saying. You
That's why-
outdated.
no, but
You
that was-
outdated.
I'm outdated, but I
Rafe
was
been in the backcourt.
I was hearing stuff.
since 12.
I had graduated, changed your high
That's
school.
what I'm saying.
Done.
But you
I
come
was
on
out
the
of
show
it.
talking about my man. That's my man.
my
No,
guy.
that's your man when he was a professional
How many
athlete.
summers we done? How many summers, man?
How about how many summer nights we was out together?
Yo, we was the best ever.
Twin, how about every summer nights we was out together? That's how we became brothers.
Yo, there was like a couple of years we just had a blast. Yo, every summer, but nah.
But to answer the question, McLaren played a big part. I mean, he's big time. He's still at Cardozo. This is going on over 35 years now, and he recruited me from middle school, and he still to this day play a big part. Myself, he coached my brother at Cardozo.
Shout out to 20.
But McLaren is one of the only, let's keep it real, only white dudes that got a hood pass all over.
That's a fact.
All over the city.
That's a fact.
And like
working
you said,
with them people, I think that's why he got a hood pass.
He was in Rucker Park. What they used to call him? No,
the teacher.
The teacher.
Yeah, the teacher.
Yeah, he had all the
tough
tricks.
nose.
Yeah,
yo,
he had all
yo,
the
hold
tricks.
on. Speaking of your brother 20, yo, I remember playing with him. He didn't pass me the ball one time. Yo,
see, he was outdated. He was outdated, son.
So I was, you gonna pass me the ball, man?
You was the big NBA guy.
He had this look on his face.
I'm not passing you the ball.
Oh my God, but nah.
I'm telling you what he thought.
You and your brother went to Cardozo too?
Yeah, went to Cardozo.
Y'all played together?
No, he's 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
Now you're killing me with these questions. You're so outdated. Let me talk about my man. Let me talk about the young boy question.
About my man.
So look. All right. So let me talk about high school. You talk about pro.
All right,
but you outdated.
Go ahead.
Fuck is you talking about? You asking him the question. His brother's mad young. You asking him.
I want to know.
What you talking about,
brother, man? Like, come on.
Yo, son. So, who you play with AAU? Because you ain't playing on the Big Two. I know you ain't playing on the Big Two, but who you play AAU?
I played Aim High, coached by Kenny Smith, older brother Vince.
Vince, yeah, shout out to Vince.
They was
Vince
up
Smith.
too, Ty. Don't.
So we probably was.
I said the Big Two. I didn't say other teams was.
So
weak.
say the Big Three then. If you say the Big Three,
I never lost to y'all.
If you say the Big Three, then
I never
we
lost to
included
Aim
in
High.
that.
So
Aim High is included in that.
I can say the Big Ten.
Three.
You was in that too. The Big Two was the Church and Riverside. Aim High had the talent, but y'all wasn't good enough. Let's be honest. If we gonna have a New York City conversation, don't do like this new age shit where niggas is lying and cheating. No. I know when I played against 40, I had to hedge hard on the pick and roll because you was going to come off and score. That's what I know.
Listen.
Nell was in the NBA. He don't know what's going on. He was trying to meet somebody. I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't there. I was there. So playing for Aim High, how did that propel you to be one of the best players in the nation, one of the top players in the Northeast, and you decided to go to the school you went to?
Well, like you said, it wasn't that many top teams in the city. Mm-hmm. In Queens, Aim High was the team. So if you wasn't one of 10 in Queens, you wasn't making that team. Mm. So at the end of the day, I had to compete. I had to get better so I can be one of those dudes. And I ended up being Rafa played with me. Shaheen Holloway was on that team with me. So, it was we had a bunch of guys on that team.
Mad annoying. Paul Ruddick.
Paul Ruddick was on that team.
Super annoying.
Before us was Kamani, was Stacy Castle. Queens was loaded with dudes. You know what I mean? And so, like you said, Queens had to be one of them top dudes to make that team.
So in making that team and playing at a high level AAU, traveling across the world, how was it your transition into deciding to go all the way to corny Boston College on an athletic scholarship? Because I know St. John's probably recruited you, seeing Horror recruited you. Like, you know what? Tell us some of the schools that recruited you.
Well, first, after Aim High, they was local. They was more local. Like we did a trip to Texas because of Kenny Smith played with the Houston Rockets, so it brought us to Houston. We played a couple tournaments out there. But besides that, they wasn't really traveling outside the city or tri-state. Yep. So I ended up playing for Gary Charles with the New York Panthers.
Right.
So me and one of your ex-teammates at St. John's, Zendon Hamilton, we was in the backcourt with Rafa. It was the three of us. Mike James played on that team.
That's tough.
He played in the NBA for a while, for a lot of years.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So until I got with Gary Charles, we were going out to Vegas, Cali. We were going everywhere. Long Beach tournaments, LA. There wasn't a tournament in the country we didn't go to. So played well. I remember getting the opportunity to go to ABC camp. Converse at that time. We was in Michigan. I was in the backcourt with Stephon. He was a junior. I was going into my senior year. So, everybody came to watch Steph. I ended up playing well. I ended up getting a ton of looks.
And what was that like playing in ABCD camp at that time? Like, I did it a couple of years before you. It was like, man, you couldn't believe it. So, like, what was that like for you?
The best of the best.
Yeah.
Had Ricky Price that went to Duke from Cali. Trajan Langdon. Like Chauncey Billups, he was a junior. It was tons of dudes. Obviously everybody in the city.
Wayne
Kareem
Turner.
Green,
all of them
in the
dudes.
city.
Yeah.
It was everybody in the country.
Yep.
And I ended up playing real well. Came out of there. Next thing you know, I'm ranked top 50 in the country.
Dope.
Just based off of Converse camp.
Yep.
Playing alongside Steph.
That's what it does for
and
you.
Zenden.
It boosts you up.
So everybody came to watch Zenden and Steph, and I ended up doing my thing.
I'm going to blow your mind, both of y'all. I never went to camp. I never went to Nike.
You was out here, man.
I never went to ABCD. I never went to Converse. Never went to 90. You know why? Because the summer was mine. The summer was mine. I was outside.
That's true, because I was gone.
Oh, man.
You was gone.
You was
But
gone.
no,
So I ended up coming out of there,
yeah.
and my top 5 schools coming out of Converse on my senior year was Boston College, Providence, Rutgers, St. John's, and Villanova.
And this is a New York City public school kid from Queens.
And I had a package deal
with all these opportunities.
Had a package deal with Zenden to go to either St. John's or Villanova.
Never knew that.
Never.
That's dope.
I ended up taking official visit to Rutgers, take an official visit to Boston College. I ended up committing to Boston College just because I love playing style. I ain't really want to stay home. I wanted to get away a little bit, not too far, and I love the Big East. So,
no doubt.
Nah, that's different. I didn't know that. So after having a great year at Boston College, right? Great career, I should say. You had a real good career, right? You're my man and everything. I don't drag it, but you did have a great career. I have to remind people.
You don't say that too often. You don't give nobody they props too often.
Get over
so
I'm doing it for the interview. That's what the storm is about.
But you had a great career at BC, and you transitioned into professional basketball. I was a little shocked that you didn't get the opportunity that you should have got for the NBA, because I'm one of the fortunate few that saw you overseas.
Yeah.
So talk to us about leaving college and making your transition to top level Europe.
Listen, it was a grind. I started out in
You did start out with some weak teams.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I did. But that showed basically, how much you really care about it and the passion I had for it.
Definitely.
And I knew where I can get to, and I knew how good I was, and I put the work in. But like you said, I did started in Austria, Vienna, Austria. You're not making a ton of money there. Catapulted to Germany, but my goal every time was to kind of double up and be better.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
And think about it, when you look at it though, like when you reflect on that now, like do you feel like a certain way, like negative about it, or do you feel like, yo, man, I was a professional.
Nah.
I was over here, and I was giving out work.
Nah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it because listen, a lot of people don't have patience. Everybody want it
right now,
today. Not a lot of people gonna grind. You know what I'm saying? And start out the bottom and next year get something higher. Like it took me 6 years to get to the EuroLeague, and if you dudes know about the EuroLeague.
Yep.
You made the EuroLeague.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You accomplished something big time. And it took me about 6 years, and I had to really grind it out.
And I know, like, we all involved in coaching. We'll get to that later. Like, Todd's program, I'm varsity coach, you college.
I don't coach, though. I don't coach.
But you're around the program, man.
Right.
You're around the program. And that, I think, that's something that's missing from our youth, like whether it's college, high school, or just a program, like the tough times, and then like how you get out of that tough times. Like, because I know, like people say, yo, you was in the NBA this night. That shit was great, but that time before that, getting to there, like I could have easily lost like patience.
Yeah,
it's like been done.
And I think this generation, they don't have patience because like back in the days, like we just said, it was only top 2, top 3, top 4 teams if you can You count Madison Broncos with Doc.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It wasn't that many teams in the country. I mean, in New York
New
City.
York.
So you had to be good to play in those.
Right.
If you didn't, you wasn't out on the circuit.
Right.
These dudes nowadays, there's a mom and pop AAU program on every corner.
It's ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying? So the kids nowadays, they don't really have that grind that we had to do. It's like, you ain't make it, all right, my dad can go create an AAU team tomorrow.
Let me go back a little bit. Let's talk about when you led the EuroLeague in scoring. Right? Let's talk about that. Like many people don't know that what you see, I was there, right? You never beat me, but I was there overseas. Never beat me. But being a leading scorer in the EuroLeague, tell us about how that felt, because that's an accomplishment like I was never close to. You know what I'm saying? And I had the luxury of experiencing that quite a few times. But for you, coming from Queens, New York, doing the struggle, starting in Austria, how was that feeling when you were crowned the leading scorer of the EuroLeague?
Yo, that was big time, because that basically was put me on the path where I was trying to get to. I had NBA tryouts after that. You know what I'm saying? Celtics flew me in. I had EuroLeague contracts. I was able to get to Italy after that. But I averaged 21 that year, and that was like, what, the second or third best European competition out there?
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand that. That's
hard.
Big time.
I know.
That's hard for
like
a PG.
in Europe, if you score 15 points, that's good.
Yeah.
And for me to average 21 points in whatever amount of assists,
sizzling.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
sizzling out there. That
yeah, it was.
everything was going.
My team was
in your way.
good, so it wasn't like I was playing on a bad team. My team was good. We ended up making to the Final Four of that competition. It was the Euro Cup at the time. You know, so that was a big accomplishment, because that basically paved my way to get to, you know, EuroLeague tryouts. I mean, contracts, NBA tryouts in the summertime.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, most athletes don't get to that point, right?
Right,
like,
right.
You could say, like, we throw overseas or Europe around, like, it's like, but most athletes don't get to that level of like success, even in one season, like, to do stuff like that.
That's why I like to classify it.
But-
I said top level.
But I do want to talk about like the New York City playground pro-am type of scene, because that's something that we all participate in,
Right.
play with each other.
Hell of a time.
So just your outlook on that experience in New York, the New York tournaments, the Nike, the Pro-Am, the Rucker, the
Pro City,
Pro,
Ruckus.
you know, all the tournaments around New York City. Like, and I tell my kids, oh, y'all might not, not might. Y'all won't even get a jersey and nothing. Like,
That's a fact.
once y'all take that jersey off, it's over. Y'all not even playing in. Nobody give y'all a jersey to play in like a Pro-Am or something like that. Yeah, y'all not getting no jersey. Like, so what was that like experience like?
Son,
Like,
what's up
we
with
always
my
involved.
sweet chicken, son? Y'all got my chicken over there, son?
Come on, man. What was
My
that?
chicken,
what was
son.
that experience like for you? Like, you could talk about all of it, like playing in all the New York tournaments and becoming.
Thank you.
Like, basically, your nickname was 40, right? I assume, I never asked, but I assume that you was giving motherfuckers 40.
All day.
That's what I thought. So I'm right.
All day.
I'm right. But yeah, what was that experience like playing in like the New York scene of the summer tournaments?
Nah, it was big time. My agent used to always be mad at me, because when you go and play 8 to 10 months out of the year overseas, and then you come home, my agent always wanted me just to relax, don't even play. But because I love the game so much, and I enjoyed playing, dudes like you, Red Autry, Reg Freeman, it was so many dudes.
What about me? You was with me all the time.
Ty Grant.
Fuck is you
I'm thinking
talking
about the older dudes, older than us,
Yeah, that's
because
a
they
fact.
basically
Thank
they showed us the way.
And I guess we're like, and you can also put like, what was like your favorite tournament too? Like you loved just playing it because you know.
West Fourth, surprisingly enough, was one of the best tournaments for me, even though the court is about as big as this table.
I ran into the
It
fifth.
was like, you know, you can run into anybody.
You're too big to be running.
yo,
the
moving. Wow.
yo, back court is a 3-point line at the other side of the rim. Like,
Yeah.
nah, it's the atmosphere is crazy.
Right.
People getting on and off the train, people getting off of work. So it was, it was right there in the middle of West 4th Street, 6th Ave, I think it is. So that was always one of the best tournaments. Obviously, Rucker Park. Nike Pro-Am. Me and you played together in
Think we got
Hoops
a chip?
in the Sun.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
All of us
Orchard
played together.
Beach.
I think it was
Todd,
fun because we was
yeah.
with each other. Like it was like
Yeah.
normally, like
It was our crew.
Rube introduced me to that tournament. I was like, what?
It was our crew.
But it was just fun to going up there every
You
week.
sold that tournament, son, because we
Well,
wasn't going.
Rube sold it to me,
Right, but we ain't know Rube like that. We knew you.
so it was fun as hell. Like playing with you. But yeah, man, that's
Yeah, and I'm thinking, I think that's probably
you played Dykeman.
not too
Not
many
really.
times.
I
Not
think
too
I
many
may played
times.
Dykeman once.
But what's crazy is we used to play in all these tournaments after working out in the
Having a
morning.
dope
oh, what
workout.
about the workouts? What about the
Workouts in the mornings was no
the
joke.
scrimmages?
No joke. Every single game.
Hey, yo,
every
sidebar. This chicken good as a motherfucker, boy.
Peace to sweet
I'm
chick.
gonna
Peace to
stop
sweet
eating
chick,
it.
man.
No, talk
Should look
about our
good.
workout. Talk about our workouts, though, in the
Nah,
morning.
our workouts was legit. It didn't matter who. It didn't matter what time. It was every day at what 10 a.m.
Yep.
About 10:30 a.m. We be in that running every day.
You remember any notable players like you could share to the audience who was there, like from your perspective? Because I have my
I
own
think
perspective.
every NBA dude that used to come in town, just like the way they do now. They used to come in. They used to pull up to the runs.
So mostly, basically, all New York,
But it was mostly us that played overseas.
and we were all professionals.
Professionals.
That was the crazy.
You know what I
part.
mean? It
How,
was-
yo, how do we do it, yo?
And again, our day was 10 a.m. workouts for 2-3 hours. Go get lunch.
Intense.
Go get lunch. Maybe go home and change because you got a tournament
Maybe.
in Rucker Park or wherever, West Fourth. Go home and change. And we was on the streets.
This was every day.
That was every
This was
day.
every day. So I forgot who I was.
I don't know if I don't know if y'all looking at me to chime
Yeah.
in.
Nah, not really. Not really. Not really.
I can add it. I
Nah,
can add.
nah, not
I
really.
can add.
Chill.
So hold on. So we had the workouts, right? This is important because the workouts in the morning was important because it was the steam room,
Yeah, it
right? The
was.
steam
Go,
room got
so
you
about
right.
Gold's Gym?
It
No.
didn't matter
Where
where,
we was at? All right, gotcha.
right? The steam room was all about recovery,
Yeah.
Right.
right?
Getting
So we
toxins
learned
out.
that, right? Drink a lot of water, go in the steam room, talk shit about what happened in the night, right?
Hold up. Steam room?
Right, steam room.
With who?
See, these connotations, I'm not even on that type of time.
You do it to me, man.
Right, but you dragging it, right? Steam room. I ain't say
Okay,
you was
I'll leave it
sitting
alone.
next to
I'll leave it
40
alone.
in the steam room. I didn't say that.
I leave it alone.
Don't drag it.
I got it. I leave it alone.
But you go to the steam room, you rest and recover after working out, right? You go home, either take a nap or whatever, right? You prep for the evening tournament. That could be Pro City, that could be Rutgers or whatever, just for rec, right? You take a shower. We all decide where we're meeting after the Pro-Am. We could go to a 10-star restaurant or we could go to some bullshit. Back, it started to become like 40-40 or the shit Hirsch and them had in the city.
The Entourage or there's
Right.
another joint. I forgot the name.
After that was when the day started. So we're talking 11:30. Twin, we're talking 11:30. Right? You had to decide if you was in a relationship or not around that time. Right? Because you gotta, it's two choices, right? You go home
Yeah.
or you go out with me.
So I lived in Brooklyn at that time.
That's
so
a fact. We was neighbors.
That's right.
Why
It
we
was
never
far.
talk about that?
It was far, yeah.
Hold on, why we never talk
Why
about being
why
neighbors?
we avoiding who we used to call to find out where the next spot was at?
Because you can tell us, you're a guest. We don't have to say that. You can tell us who he was calling, who was the next spot. Feel free to share. You want to tighten me up? Feel free to share who he was calling.
Who
brother.
we was calling?
Everybody.
Yo, but by the way,
But
hold up.
not no one in particular. Our
Hold
guy Rube.
Joint. Hold on, Ruben Rivera was
I mean,
obviously on
yeah,
speed dial.
yeah, yeah,
Ruben,
yeah.
where we at?
Well,
B.
He was in the cipher.
Right. It was
But
a
think about
shame.
it. Hold
Shame
on,
on
hold on.
Ruben Rivera.
But you-
Shame on Ruben.
But this is what we talk about.
He supported
guys.
us.
This is what we talk about. We talk about a bunch of dedicated basketball lovers,
Mhm.
professional basketball players
Mhm.
who worked out every day
Every
for
day.
the most part.
Every day.
Lift weights after.
For 90 days.
And like you said, you got to decide who you are. Either you go home or you chill. And a lot of times I used to have to chill. I used to have to chill with Reg because Reg had that like a little like this is for years that we did this, yo. Years.
But to add on to that, you seen who was really about it and who could sustain it and keep going, or dudes that just flatline and ain't have no career after that.
One thing I'm gonna say about those times, and I'm saying from like 90, from my time, from like 96 to 2010, there was never a gray area who was good or who wasn't good, right? Now we
There's
deal
a lot
with
of hype, though.
Oh yeah.
right, a lot of hype.
A lot of hype.
But we deal with a lot of gray area,
Yeah.
right? We right now with this generation, there's a lot of gray area. You don't really know who's really good, right? But with us, we knew because you had to come to the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And your dedication to the game, you showed. It didn't matter what we did at night because our nights was out of line, right?
It was out of
In
line.
retrospect, our nights was out of line.
Not to say that I was out of line, but it was out of line.
I'm not implicating you. You just implicated
I'm
yourself,
not
genius.
implicating anything. I'm just
I ain't implicating. You was my neighbor. I can't forget. We lived close to each other. We lived like
true.
5 minutes away from each other, son.
True that.
You know what I'm saying? So you was like my big bro, but I was a solo artist back then. I was
Did
lit.
you ever play with him professionally? Did you ever
No.
play with Todd?
Never
So-
played with each other.
It's in the same
Oh.
country.
No,
played-
the same country, but never.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I got
yeah.
the luxury to play with him 2 years. Actually, I forgot about the Greece, but
Yeah,
Greece
your
year. But my year in Italy with this guy,
Best year of your life.
I remember he selling me on it, and it was like
Best year of your life.
it was dope because like we first, we went to St. John's, but this was like the first time like me and him like really became because he hung with me, he was around, but that year I don't know it changed. You know, just to play professional with him was like a different type of thing. So we had a blast.
Best year of his life.
We had a
Tell
blast.
you one thing, man. Me and Ty go way back, and our year in Italy was like elite. Why? Because
You talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, because like, listen, 8 to 10 months you out, 10 months
You're
of the
not here.
year, you in another country.
You're not home.
You trying to figure some. You get homesick.
I was struggling.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna
But
lie.
we had a schedule. Me, him, Pooh Allen. Who else
The
was
great
it?
Jerome Allen,
5:30.
everybody.
So we used to.
And Jamel Thomas.
I lived in the South. Ty lived in Bologna this one year, right?
Lit.
An hour and a half from Bologna. Pooh Allen and 5:30 lived towards Milan, like an hour and a half, 2 hours from. So we had a thing after a game on a Sunday. We would all meet in Bologna. We would drive. They would drive 2 hours south. I would drive an hour and a half, 2 hours north, and we would all get a hotel. Ty lived in the city, but we would get a hotel, change
I
up,
was always in the lit spot.
Eat.
man. I was always
and then
lit.
go out. And we would do that religiously
part of
every
my
2
religion.
weeks.
I
That
know
was
from
part
And
of my negotiation.
that got us through the year.
y'all turned Italy up.
That was part of my negotiation.
I can't even imagine.
I had to be everywhere that was lit because my friends was in town. So when y'all played, I took care of y'all. I hosted y'all.
Nah, we had some good
Yo,
times though.
That's crazy.
But you know what? We had good times, but we bust our ass and we worked hard and played basketball.
Nobody could ever
know what I'm
say
saying?
anything about.
So I don't mean to be corny, Ty, but this is something about 40 that I like. I definitely admire, like him being a Division I college coach. That's something I wanted to do. I wanted to do it because I wanted to try to give kids a chance to get to the pros. Like I did it, and it was like it wasn't the easiest. So I wanted to like coach college, so I could try to do that. But coaching college, Division I, man. You started. Where you started at? Monmouth? No, you
started at.
Nah.
Tell
You
him my
started-
story.
Nah,
Ty know
son,
the
he's-
story.
Son,
T-Ball?
so hold on.
No.
No. So you know, this is my friend.
Yeah.
Right? You fronting and talking about my man. This is my
Oh my
friend.
God.
Right? So my friend decided he wanted to be a coach. First, he wanted to be a fucking.
Out of Clear Blue?
No, he wanted to be a substitute teacher at first, right? So I know everything. I was there.
Go ahead.
He wanted to be a substitute teacher. He started dating everybody in the staff, so he couldn't do that, right? It was out of line. He's out of line.
Oh,
He transitioned into the coach. Yo, son, I don't even remember that school, but it's like a military school, right?
I remember right before you got the first job. This was,
Wait, ask him where he was at, because I don't remember. Is a school like in the Bronx? No, it's in the Bronx.
Right under the Throgneck Bridge.
The Throgneck.
SUNY Maritime.
SUNY
Division
military,
Maritime.
son,
Okay,
military.
yeah.
Division 3 school.
The military joint like this. Like I have to go to the school and go
I
like
didn't know
this.
that. Yo, I didn't know that, yo.
This is a fact.
I didn't know that.
Go like
Yo,
this.
nah. But I started. I don't know where he said I wanted to be a substitute teacher.
Right.
I ain't want to be a substitute teacher at all. But I ended up doing that for a year because I knew someone that was a principal.
It was that long?
Yeah, about a year.
Maritime.
About a year.
I
And
know
then I got the job. I got a job at SUNY Maritime, Division III.
Welfare check.
I'm probably 35 at this time. On one leg, I probably was better than everybody in there. We won 4 games. We won 4 games. No, but that was a good experience. That was a good experience to get in the door.
Game.
wasn't-
Full transparency.
You wasn't going to a
I
game.
went to the campus. It was completely disgusting. I told my friend, I'm supporting you, but I'm not coming.
Yo,
Call me after the season, boy.
by the way, I got tired of come to a summer league game for my high school team,
Gave me a headache.
and it was bad. Let's just say it was really bad.
Thank God for cell phones and Instagram.
I ended up getting 5 new transfers in, but that day was horrible.
Okay.
But go ahead.
So after that, I did a year at SUNY Maritime, Division III. After the season, I got a job at Queens College.
Okay.
I went there too.
Okay.
I was there for about 2 weeks, and I'm getting a call from Tom Pecora at Fordham. Ended up getting the job over at Fordham.
Did Pecora know you, or how did that?
No, my high school teammate Dave Duke,
Okay.
not the historian down in the South.
Yeah, not that dude.
But
Thank God.
Dave
Double
Duke,
D. Let's call him Double
Dave Duke
I
is
know,
a
I
real
can't
good
say
friend of
Double D.
mine. He's actually the head coach at Adelphi right now.
You still there?
Yeah, so he worked under Pecora at Hofstra, and then they went to Fordham.
Damn, son. He's still at Adelphi?
Still at Adelphi.
He ain't
Still at
move up on
Adelphi.
That's in Long Island, right? I might,
Yeah,
I might
right
call
there in
him
Long
up,
Island.
man.
If you stuck in Adelphi, you retired.
Yeah, so I did a year at
That's a
Fordham.
weak school. That's a weak
At the
program.
bottom, I was assistant video coordinator, making not embarrassed $20,000. That was a foot in the door job. I wanted to
Division
my
One,
foot in the
no.
door.
Division
Yeah.
One.
So hold on. Let's backtrack. So you was making $20,000 when I used to go out my way to come all the way to Week Fordham to see you. Yo, son, you had mad headaches. You had that point guard that was shooting every basketball. Yo, my friend was the Yo, Ruben, Eric Newman.
Yo.
This guy was miserable
Yo.
at Fordham.
If you, yo,
For 20,000, boy.
if you ever want to get,
done. I'm retiring. It's
yo,
over.
if you ever want to get Ty annoyed, just have him around bad basketball.
Yo, son.
His mood changes and everything like that, yo.
Yo, that's like the most. Yo, son, I never knew you was making $20,000.
Word.
Shout out to you for never asking me for money.
Never.
Respect it. I
Never,
respect the grind.
never.
I ain't know that. I did not
Yeah.
know. You knew that?
Listen, I was good. I was
You knew that,
good.
BT?
I
You
wasn't
grinding
worried.
out though, like,
Yeah,
you know
but
what
it
I'm
wasn't
saying?
about the money for me. I'm coming from overseas. I ain't had no worries. I did it to get my foot in the door. Again, a lot of people want
And
my
you-
age at that time wouldn't have done that. So I did a year at Fordham, and then after that I got a job at Monmouth over with King Rice with B. Reese,
Okay.
our brother
Yes.
Ryan Reese.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was good times. I was there for 4 years.
No doubt.
Damn, that long time?
Yeah, we was there. We was balling. We think we won the league. We won the league twice. King was coach of the year twice. We went to the NIT a couple times. That was the year with the bench mob. Remember them dudes?
Oh
was
yeah.
doing all
that shit. Yeah.
Taking
doing
out
all the
Uzi
dances
guns
and stuff.
that was
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fun run. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna hold you.
Yeah, that was my
Mama,
year.
I never heard of Monmouth until you went there. No disrespect to King Rice. Never heard of
Nah,
that.
I had heard of him though. It was a kid from New York, from Staten Island. He ended up going there.
I just remember it was a
And Alex
long ride.
Alex Blackwell.
Yeah.
I just remember.
I played with him, yeah.
I just remember it was a like this guy invites me to a game, don't give me no directives. Son, I got a game at 7. I remember I got in the car and I drove. So we from New York. So when you hear it's in Jersey, you thinking like it's right there, Newark, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that's the same. That was like the same ride that you would go from Teramo to Rome.
Hey,
I had joints with me. It was different. I had joints with me in the
Don't
car.
go to
I had joints with me. It's
Don't
different.
talk about terrible at Rome, right?
It was different.
Oh.
What you talking
My
about?
fault, Nell.
But That was one of the most boring car rides I ever had. But y'all was good. So
No, we was
I
good.
supported
We was
you and
good.
I kept coming because it was you.
You got
You know what I'm
plugged,
saying?
that's-
King was cool too. Everybody, B Reese was there and all that. But y'all that was a fun team to watch.
We was good. We was real good.
That kid's still playing, making money in
Yeah,
Europe, right?
yeah, overseas.
Yeah, he's still
Germany.
making money.
Germany or Italy, one of them.
Yeah, I remember that kid. What's his name?
Justin Robinson.
Justin Robinson. Shout out
Yeah.
to him, little midget,
Yeah,
little midget that can play
He
ball.
was hooping. He
Edit.
was hooping.
Edit.
Oh my bad. little person that can play ball.
Then from
From Monmouth to Monmouth,
Monmouth to Seton Hall.
Seton Hall. So you get not only you play in the Big East, you coaching in the Big East now. What was that like? Like who's the coach at that time?
Kevin Willard.
Kevin.
He's currently at
Villanova.
Maryland.
Was Durham with y'all?
I mean, he left Maryland and went to
was
Villanova.
Durham with y'all for a minute over there?
No, that was before me.
Oh, that was before you.
That was
Okay,
before
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was a big time experience, man. That Big
In the
East.
Big
is different.
East, you get to come home. I mean, you
Big
home.
East, different
Basically
beasts.
home.
Different beasts. You know, every single game you got the rivals with St. John's. You know, even though they were trash, but
We was.
Yeah, man. You know,
We were
was.
trash. That's a fact. That's
we
a fact.
were.
No.
We was.
We were
It's
trash.
all past tense. B.
We wasn't there. We wasn't going to
past
games.
tense.
We weren't going to games.
I don't even remember.
We were.
what?
Me and my twin was going to St.
St.
We
John's.
we were going to
Five years
Seton
ago,
Hall
6 years ago.
games. That's a fact.
Yeah.
We was going. I didn't wear blue. I'm not a Crip. I did not wear blue.
You was in what, Mullen years?
Yeah,
Mullen years.
yeah.
Now I remember them.
We was going to his games, boy.
I didn't go to the Seton Hall game though.
We was there. We
I
was front
I
row.
on some-
Not front row. I'm dragging it. Not front. You never gave me a front row seat.
Stop it.
Never gave me a front row seat. It was like row 7.
Nah, I wrote 4.
You ain't on the show, so chill out. Shout out to Seton Hall. Y'all had a great run.
Right.
Yeah.
It was amazing watching you at
NCAA?
Seton Hall.
Went to the tournament 2 years. Won the Big East 1 year.
Won the big.
On the Big East?
Yeah, they won the Big East. I remember that.
Was that
Well,
Jeremy?
Whitehead.
Jeremy Hazel. Oh, Whitehead.
Whitehead.
No,
Hazel?
I was there
Hey.
with White with Miles Powell.
Miles Powell.
The
Miles Powell.
scoring
Yeah,
machine.
he was tough.
Yeah, we won the Big East. That was 2021.
I thought he was gonna be in the league. I liked him when I saw him.
2021.
He was like a little
We
tough,
Yeah.
It
Went
was hard to guard.
We was real good.
That's dope.
And then from there, I ended up where I'm at currently at Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
All right.
Which is kind of, ironic because my brother.
Your brother went there. He a Hall of Famer there?
Right.
Nah, he's not a Hall
Right.
of Famer yet, but they talking about it.
They
so.
need to give him
no
that.
doubt.
They need to
Yeah.
give him that.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. That comes full circle, man.
I'm gonna give a clap to
Word.
my man. Coach your career, man. It's dope, man.
It's still young though. You inspired to be a head coach?
I want to move over that one more seat. I want to get an
Well,
opportunity.
if you do that, then if it's local, I'm gonna give you my resume. I think I got to get up out of high school.
Son, you're
I
washed. Like
No, I'm not.
nobody's hiring you right now,
Nah,
son.
'cause-
We're working. We have things to do
Give me
together.
a big man coach.
Don't do it.
I don't want you to coach and leave me out here by myself.
Yo, I just like, so I'm listen. I'm gonna say this: when my friend, like, when people I know, like, I interact with, like, they get like big time positions, like Adrian Autry and Kamani aspiring and 40, like it makes me feel a certain type of way. Like I want to go help. Like all this basketball knowledge, I want to do something for.
You know where you can help
I
out?
say anything wrong?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
You know where you can help out?
Where?
You know where you can help out? On the fucking storm. That's where you gonna help out.
So my man don't want me to come, but you get that head coaching nod, you gonna get a resume.
Oh,
You can turn me
man.
down though. I cool. I just want to interview.
Do me a favor.
Don't hire.
Do us all a favor.
What's that?
Give him a fucking interview. Give him an interview
Just an
and then
interview,
and tell HR to send him a nice email. Right? Get him out the way. So ain't wasting our time. But
Oh man.
with that in mind, with you wanting to transition into becoming a head coach, I want to know, how are you going to take all this expertise and skills to a university to become a head coach? Because I support you.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Rhode Island's on the right trajectory.
No
Like
doubt.
we took over the job 3 years ago. We went from 8 to 12 to what we had this year, 19 wins. So
It's a good process, man. Everybody can't. It's not like Rip Pitino. You just
I'm
spoiled it.
At the end of the day,
He's spoiled.
at the end of the day, next year we hoping.
Shout out to St. John.
Next year we hoping to build on this. Build off.
We got Rip Pitino. We up. Like
but they actually got good coaches.
You know what I mean?
How do you deal with these players in this NIL situation? How do you deal with recruitment? This is what I really want to know. How do you deal with okay players that you have to negotiate a specific number to pay them to be okay players?
Hell, it's all new to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's no more organic relationships building in the recruiting process. It's all transactional. Like before, I used to have to call somebody and start building relationships.
So you're dealing with unqualified people. I'm asking you a question. So you're dealing with unqualified people about numbers and what a kid is worth?
Who you consider non-qualified? I mean,
95% of people in basketball. He basically saying they ain't shit.
I mean,
and we giving them money.
How do you deal with it? I'm asking you how you deal with it because I can't be a coach.
It's tough. It's tough dealing with it. First of all, because the NCAA is allowing transfers as many times as you want. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you build a relationship and chemistry with your team? It's tough. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't matter what level you at. You can be Kansas. You can be Duke. Like, every single year, you changing 5 to 10
Rhode Island.
They're going to do something about it. I guarantee you.
They don't have to.
In the next couple of years, they're going to do something
about it. So, again, but he had a decent year this year, 19 wins, and now we got 10 new players.
Damn, y'all got 10 new players?
So, I mean, look at St. John's.
Yeah.
They won a lot. And how many new players they got? Yeah,
but we got chicken. Quick question. How you got the name 40? Because I know it ain't because you scored 40.
Huh? Why not?
You from 40 Project. I'm answering
That's what I always thought.
I'm answering the question.
Have I answering or asking?
Because both.
Because
all the years I knew you, did I ever ask you that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, what was your assumption?
That you was giving out 40 burgers. That's what I thought.
That's what I averaged 20. I averaged 29 points in high school.
That's not 40.
Me and my man, we've been in so many different places.
Why didn't call you 29?
Yo,
you had to score. You had to score.
Why didn't they call you?
You had to score a lot of points.
They didn't call you 29.
If you average, you can't.
Yo, I remember us being in a lot of places. I never even thought about it because I figured he was giving out 40.
But this is what I'm talking about. Our relationship on this show, son. You can't assume nothing in this day and age. Because we might have the number 1 ranked player here, and I'm gonna look at you and say, "Yo, shorty is garbage." You know what I'm saying? You can't assume. So that's why I asked the question because I already know why his name is 40.
Oh, hold on. Last thing too, for Queens native. What do you think about St. John's and what they did this year? As far as like, it was different, right? I can say that. I know you coach at Rhode Island, but you Queens guy, New York City guy.
He came to St. John's game.
We was with him.
He's a supporter.
Well, what was your thoughts? What was your thoughts on what they did this year? Expected, not expected, like from your point of view.
I ain't gonna say it wasn't expected. They had a good year.
For what happened just now?
They had a good year though. They had good players.
Biggie's legacy chance? Biggie's tournament chance?
That's what I'm saying. That's big time. That's big time. That goes a long way.
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Definitely.
I'm not coming to see you in Rhode Island. I'll catch you when you play locally.
You need to come out there.
All right.
Y'all play locally anywhere? Y'all play Fordham,
just
right?
Fordham.
They play Fordham.
I'm gonna go to Fordham.
It was a hell of a game.
Rhode Island game this year for sure.
So in closing, right? I just want to reflect on the headache you gave me when I came to the game against Fordham, right? When you came out during halftime, you looked really pissed off, right? I just want to know, why do you choose to look at me at this moment? Why were you focused on me? Like, what about your team? Why are you focused on me, brother?
Listen,
I know you there for moral support. You there to give me moral support. I needed it at that moment.
Yo, 40, man. Duane Woodward, 40. Duane 40.
Shout out to our brother, man.
It's been a blast, man, having you here. First of all, it's just dope seeing you. Whenever we could just be meeting somewhere, but it's always dope seeing you. But
you got a little facial hair now, which I'm happy about because y'all coaches like to cut off your facial hair, which is mad weird.
Thank you for coming to this thing of ours, this New York thing of ours. That we want to we just want to talk to our friends.
We want to shout out the good ones, man.
Who are legends, you know.
Yeah.
Peace to Sweet Chick.
Peace
to John. My man Nas Esco. Peace to our executive producer Ruben Rivera. My man Eric Newman. Our production team. Patch, Javon, peace to everybody helping out today. Everybody,
We love y'all. We love y'all, but I love this chicken though. I tell you that much. I love this.
We're
chicken.
gonna peace out of here. The Storm NYC. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, please. Anywhere you get your podcast, Instagram, X. We here. Tyrone Grant.
We love you, Rhode Island. Follow us.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
No doubt.
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Yeah.